and welcome back to the movie review for Glitter. This is the last part, and we're at the end. So she kisses the the melody sheet, and writes her initial on it. He comes in. Now, let me show you something about it. When your season is over with a person, the Lord will not allow you to come into contact. Learn this in the MacGyver video, that the Lord didn't let that door open. She was leaving, and a mover was coming in with his partner that had a mattress. The guy was coming up the street in one direction. Had the mattress not been there, he'd have seen her. And she was walking away on the opposite side of the mattress. There's a level of division that the Lord is allowing with people that are no longer supposed to be in your life and in your season. They literally missed each other by that much. And he might have seen her if that mattress had not been there. When you are supposed to be disconnected from a person, God disconnects you. You could literally be that close to one another, and he's not going to let you see each other. Same difference. There are seasons you and your God ordained spouse were in the same place, and I almost bet money that you were really close to one another. But because you were in a different season and he was in a different season, y'all never saw each other. You could have walked right past each other. And for some of them, they may have seen you, but they weren't allowed to cross paths with you. They just missed you if they wanted to. And God made it that way. He's like, you're not supposed to cross paths with them just yet. Y'all might have been. There are times, I swear I believe at times when I was in New York, that I literally crossed in front of his car or something. Because there's certain things that he did that, and I really do feel like this, there are certain things that he did that a person may not have expected. So you wouldn't have never been looking for him. But he'll post it every once in a while, him doing extremely regular things. And I'm sitting there like, I do wonder. Because I'm like, some of the pictures I've seen of him is like, that actually looks like an area I was walking around in. And some of the places I know were in the area that I was around. And I'm like, God, did he actually see me while I was there? You'll find out when you get to him. Because I'm like, but my point is, you wouldn't have never known, and he couldn't come near you. Y'all could have been passing each other about 15,000 times. It's one of those, only the angels, whatever it was probably laughing at y'all, because it's like, this is how close y'all are. And some of y'all been screaming and complaining. I'm going to tell you something that happened while I was in New York. I was walking. I crossed the street, and I walked past two people having a conversation. And the Lord let me hear what the two people were saying as I was walking past. And the person said, he's already noticed you. I said, is that for me? Because I kept walking past people that was talking about weddings. Kept walking past people. I'll somehow randomly end up sitting near people that were talking about weddings all the time. I'm like, and then one time I was sitting there and the song from Wale came on while I was sitting in the courtyard working on some stuff on my phone. I was like, and it was Wale and Usher talking about I've been making plans. I'm like, oh my God. What's my point? That you're not going to cross paths with the person until God says now's the time. You could pass each other 15,000 times. In spiritual maturity, you may not be mature enough to leave them alone, but they may be mature enough to be like, I see you, but I'm not going to interact with you yet. I'm not going to cross paths with you yet. Because some of them probably done seen you, especially if you were in the same city that they lived in. They probably was all up and past you about 15 times. And you was like, and there's a couple of times I'd be like, I swear I was standing there. If you remember my Buffy review, where I was talking about the Buffy episode. It wasn't a Buffy episode. It was actually the review for Quantum Leap season finale. And I mentioned this, where she could sense that he was around. There was a couple of times where I felt like, is he here? Because it was something that happened and I was like, nah. And I remember the Lord had given me a dream where his car passed where I was walking. Like, he was in the vehicle driving and I was on foot walking in the opposite direction. And I'm like, did he see me? Did he see me that walk past him or something like that? God, I mean, did we cross paths? Like, really? For real? Did we, like, pass each other? And so it can be for both ways. It could be that God's severing the connection, and it could just simply be y'all can't cross paths yet, because he dealing with some stuff over here that if y'all cross paths too early, and the desire that y'all have for each other would be like Romeo and Juliet on this thing. It's like, no, y'all can't cross paths yet. And God's like, I know, and y'all keep missing each other, but... And in some cases, just like this, they did not cross paths with each other because they were no longer meant to. The season was over. He did what he was supposed to do. He promised her he was going to get her to Madison Square Garden. She got announced that her concert was getting to Madison Square Garden. And he had the ticket there. So she thought, oh, he's automatically going to come. I know, because he got the ticket, so he'll be there. And he didn't know that she knew that he had gotten the ticket. Because when she came in, she saw the ticket there. So, yeah. So she was excited because she was like, okay, he's going to be there. But she was still dealing with some things. So she was late, which to everybody else, they were like, where's she at? Because she was on her way to the show that night. And it was taking her forever to get there. And they were like, there's a whole crowd out there. She ain't here and she still need to get ready. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. As she was coming in, they get a phone call that they need to check the news. It just came on as a special report. He got confronted while he was on the way to the show by T, that guy with the spirit of Satan on him. And he approached the guy. He might not have died that night. And I'm going to tell you this. The devil wants to provoke you into doing something that removes you out of the will of God, which will cause him, if you do not pass the test, that now God's going to protect you. But if this person is operating outside of the will of God, it may not. Which is going to bring me back around to what I was saying in the last one. This guy approached the T guy and he came at him in offense. And when he came at him in offense, when he got to him, the guy pulled the gun out and shot him directly in the chest. Going back to the story about the woman, she was separated from that guy in that season. And this guy was always around. He was very caring to her children, all of this types of stuff. But he was not walking with God. And the Lord told her to let him go. And she let him go. The day she gets baptized, she finds out that he was killed. He was shot. He shot or was he dead? I don't remember which one, but he got killed that day. And she was very distraught. She did a couple of lives talking about it, but she was so distraught. We were concerned that well, she was driving one time. Her sister was driving, was in the passenger seat with her, and it's like, I hope no nothing happened because you driving and crying. My dad did that one time after my mother passed. I'd never been concerned on the highway ever, but my dad was crying, and I'm like, you are driving. Oh my God. So, with that being said, God will prepare you. He started having her separate herself from this man, separating her communication, not allowing him to be in her home like that. They completely broke up. He was no longer around. So by the time something happened to him, didn't mean that she wasn't emotionally affected. But the season was over. Now, remember the scripture I gave y'all in what's it? Ezekiel. I think it's Ezekiel 24. Hold on. Yes, it was Ezekiel. It's Ezekiel 24 and 21. Ezekiel's wife had passed away. And when Ezekiel's wife had passed away, he was to go to the house of Israel and tell them that the Lord says, I am about to desecrate my sanctuary. The pride of your power and the desire of your eyes and the delight of your soul. And the sons and daughters left behind will fall by the sword. Then you will do as I have done, and you will not cover your lips or eat the bread of mourners. You're not allowed to mourn. Now, she cried because it was sudden to her. She wasn't expecting it. And the Lord allowed her to do that. But some of you, these people are getting what was meant to come to them, and because the sudden shock, it may cause you to get emotional. But Mariah Carey, when this guy got killed, she had her moment. She was in the car, and after her show, she did her performance. And when she did the performance, she found a letter in the car, because he had a car set up to meet her, but he was supposed to be with the car. But he got killed before. So the message was in the vehicle. She opened the letter and read it, and it said that I will see you tonight. I can't wait to see you because I have some important information for you. We found your mom, and she was going to be taken to go see her mother. So now he had left her the letter, so she was being driven to go see her mom. Some people are not going to be able to cross paths with other people in your season. There are people that you're going to walk away from in this season. Some of them are going to pass away before they have a chance to meet people. Some of them are going to just no longer have contact with you. You ain't going to have their number. You ain't going to have their contact information. They're going to fall off the face of the earth. And it's only God himself that will bring them back. But some of these doors, God is shutting. Isaiah 22 and 22 in it. When God shuts the door, man cannot open it. So, some of these people are going to just miss each other. People that you might have wanted to meet each other. There are seasons, since we're talking about mamas, I wish my God ordained spouse had the ability to meet my mom. My mom was awesome. But she passed away 17 years ago. But there's another thing that the Lord keeps bringing to my attention, and only the Lord will show me that if that's true. I wish it was, but maybe it's just a fond thought of mine. But if it did, it would even make our relationship that the more close. If what I'm thinking actually happened. Yeah. But she ends up getting driven to the place that her mother is. She finally gets that relationship restored. Some people will be in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. She walks up to the house. Her mother comes out. And she walks up to her. And she's already emotional because she just lost the guy. And she doesn't even have words to say to her mother. But they just hug. And cry. For some of y'all, it's going to be your God-ordained spouse. Y'all just going to hug and cry. Because it's one of those scenarios I've been trying to interview this so long. Oh my God. You're not even going to be able to understand it. What God's about to do for you, you have no idea. God's about to shift some things. You have no idea. There are people, places, spaces, and situations that are about to shift so much. Some of you are going to lose people. But the things that you're going to gain. Stand. God's about to do some things. Some of you are about to go into your Goliath moment. But that Goliath moment is going to bring about the shift that you were looking for, the transition you were looking for, that moment you were waiting for. Hold on. It's about to happen. And since we're here, the movie ended. But I'm going to tell you something. A couple days ago, when I was leaving, actually it was Monday, I was just chilling, listening to some music. And I don't listen to music like that. I don't just be listening to music. I do listen to the radio, but I don't just be looking up music. And the Lord kind of had me in a listen to music mode. And when I finished It's a Wrap, He had me go to Mariah Carey, It's a Wrap. You know that I reviewed that song. So after I reviewed Mariah Carey's It's a Wrap, He led me. I was thinking that It's a Wrap was on the Emancipation of Mimi. And I looked it up. It's like, that's not Emancipation of Mimi. I was like, no, yes, that was the album, Emancipation of Mimi. The cover out, I had the covers mixed up. Because I was thinking about Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel for It's a Wrap. But It's a Wrap is actually on 2 different records. It's on, it's not Caution, it's the other one. I can't think. I never listened to Caution. But, what is it? I was led to listen to some of Emancipation of Mimi. And come get this. For those of you waiting on Kingdom Marriage, listen. And it actually fits in here. In her song, It's Like That. Remember, she was about to what? They were celebrating her getting ready to get married. How many of y'all, we've been talking about marriage? She was celebrating get ready to get married. Next, at the end of that video, a guy comes in. This is almost a representation of your God-ordained spouse coming in. Because this was the one that she loved. The guy that she was marrying, you didn't even know who this dude was. You just saw him lingering around, but you knew that this was the guy that was over this marriage situation. And he was paying for everything. Everything was like lit. But she was actually in love with this young guy. And when you come to the second video, We Belong Together. I didn't actually do a review on that song because it's kind of a breakup song. But she's preparing for her wedding and sulking over this dude because she's like, I belong with him. I belong with him. Some of you goddamn spouses were in situations where they know they belong with you, and they was trying to get out of some situations in order to get to you. On the day of the wedding, she ran off. On the day of the wedding, she ran off. On the day of. Let me explain something to you. There are things that these men, when they come to you, you better be ready to go. Because there's some things that they had to walk away from. Listen and hear me with your spiritual ears. There's some things they had to walk away from. Coming to you was a actual heavy inconvenience to their life that they were in. So any level of rejection from you might actually be extremely traumatic to these men because of what they broke up in their life to make space for you. Be ready to go, because they literally had to break up some stuff to get ready, and they're coming with commitment on their mind. If it ain't an elope, it's an engagement. But they come in like, look, I done broke up everything in my life for you. Please tell me I'm not crazy. And some of them know that they're not crazy because they've been watching you the whole time. Especially if you're in a situation like this, where you're actually telling everything that the Lord is showing you. They've been watching you do. It's like, they know, you know. So they actually are secure in the understanding, because the Lord may have finally let them know, oh, she know. Let me show you how she know. Here. And they show you them your channel. And you're going to be like, you might be like horrified at the thought of them watching your stuff. But they're like, that's what I needed to know. Okay, let's get this done. But they're walking away from some stuff in order to come to you. So, they want you to be ready when they come. And some of you don't understand how fast this is going to happen. It's going to happen fast. Get your heart right, get your mind right, get your body right, get your vitamins right. Get your exercise right, because you might need it. But yeah, she ended up at the end of that music video running off from her wedding from other guy to get on a horse with this dude. And they took off running together. Yep. Anyway, what's next? I'm also getting, and this is for those of you that have been sitting there waiting for a call. You know communication should have already been had. But the enemy has been on block game hard. Block game. They've been blocking. It's like Ray, 11 Miracles with Ray did a video. It's like every time they try to, you're over here, they're over there a little bit. You're adjacent to one another. Every time they get ready to say something, somebody keep coming in and blocking their path of view to you, is what she said. Somebody keep blocking. It's a spiritual block. It's a witchcraft block. It's a physical block. It's a communication block. And a confirmation for me was the other day, my dad was trying to talk to somebody on the phone and could not get his phone to answer. A phone is supposed to answer. His phone wouldn't answer. He could not answer the phone to save his life. Jesus, his life is going to be long and extended. In the name of Jesus. He's going to have a long life. In the name of Jesus. But he couldn't answer the phone. It took him 10 minutes. He had to turn the phone off and turn it back on in order for me to call his brother back. And his brother really didn't want nothing. But it was a scenario of This is how hard the block was. It was operating slow and acting stupid. A phone's supposed to answer. I don't get what goes on with my dad's phones. But, and I've also been hearing the song from, what's his name? New Edition. The kid version. When they were kids. Telephone Man. It's the telephone man. Something's wrong with my line. I call my baby's number, but I get a click every time. And the other day I was on the phone with my friend. We were talking. The next thing I know, the phone clicks off. I try to call her back. Every time it tries to click in, a click happens and her answering machine cut in. We could not get in touch with each other to save our lives. I turned the phone back off. I turned it back on. It would not answer. I'm like, it's a communication issue. The enemy's trying to block you in communication. And I got that from the song, Can I Get Your Number? Some of you goddamn spouses may have contact information for you, but for some reason they can't get through. The information they have may be wrong. The information they have may be old. They may have to dig a little bit deeper. They may have access to your numbers. But because of something that they ain't thinking about, they got to go dig a little bit deeper to get to you. And God's going to give it to them when the time is right and the partition needs to fully be broken. But they going through some stuff right now. So while they going through what they going through, He's not allowing the contact to be made. He's trying to finish. Let me put this in here right here. Some of your God-ordained spouses, you see them, they see you. There's a blessing that is coming in this. But with that, you have to know and understand something. You are like this close. This close. And because you're this close, it's like you spiritually can see him, he can see you. Y'all are at the approach point. But because y'all are at the approach point, there's a desire to want to run to one another. I'm hearing Whitney Houston, I want to run to you. You want to run to each other. And God said, go finish what you got to finish over here. You go finish what you got to finish over there. Both of you, to your corners. You ain't done yet. I know you can see them. They can see you. We all see each other. All right, we got that. Get that close. He will be there as soon as I'm ready. She will be there as soon as I'm ready. Finish what you got to finish so you can get there. Do what you're supposed to be doing. Do what you got to do. Finish it. So when he finishes what he got to finish, he's going to come right to you. When you finish what the Lord needs for you to finish and get in prep, right to you. It's coming. Be patient. What's the next song? Well, the next song is, what is it? Love story. Some of you are about to enter into your love story. Keys to the Kingdom just released a video talking about the fact that some of you are going to start seeing yellow butterflies because you're coming into a level of romance and entering your serious relationship. Even my other prophetess, Dr. Jolene Whitaker, was talking about you're about to enter into that thing that the Lord has been showing you, has been alerting you. You're about to enter into love and romance. Some of y'all been seeing weddings everywhere. It's going to be just like that. And the Lord gave me that almost a year ago or longer in a dream. Just like that. Just like that. It's about to happen. And it's going to happen so fast. Because these men ain't playing. And if they were pressed for this, oh, they coming for you quick. I had a vision of my other day spouse driving down the highway, full speed ahead, 3 years ago. Full speed ahead. It's almost like you can keep the car in control. That's how quick they coming. What's next? I'll Be Loving You Long Time by Mariah Carey. Y'all about to go away on your vacation and escape this situation, and you about to have some island life fun. You best to enjoy it. Somebody was giving warning. Don't sit up there and think that you're going to be like, I'm coy, I'm not going to. When God blesses you with this thing, don't you sit up there in your humility and humbleness be like, oh, I don't want to go on vacation. You better to take that daggone vacation. Love upon that man right, because for some of them, they've been through hell. They're like, they going to need that vacation. One, they going to need the vacation. Two, they going to need some of the loving. And if you elope first, what sequence did we do this in? Separation, right relationship, marriage, love story. You got your number. Now it's time to vacate the premises and get your party on. Some of y'all have been begging them to say something, but they've been in blockages. But it's all right. It's okay. Because it's working itself out. So that's all I really wanted to say. Y'all about to enter in. Get ready. I believe we are at the end of this. Lord, do you want me to do the song for Love to Lead the Way? Because we can do it right quick. Because I got some space. So I will be back. And we'll see if I do Love will Lead the Way. Bye-bye.